Hi, I'm AnalysisWX.com's weather analyst Andrew Fleck, just here for a Monday's pattern weather discussion. We're going to be kind of going into a flippy-floppy pattern here over the weekend and into your early start of the week. But once we get out of these real smaller systems that keep winding up and making it warm some days and cold some days, we're going to be coming into, by midweek, a bigger storm, and that's going to come in and really impact with very abnormal warm temps on the east side of it and very below normal temps on the west side of it. So we're going to talk a little bit of that today and kind of show you where the storm is going to be and where it's going to affect. And then we kind of talk about it really getting cold, and really, and I mean really getting cold, like you had earlier this year in January and February. That kind of cold could be coming into the region by late this week into the weekend. So let's get into the radar here, and what we can just see just from a quick glimpse is we have a front lining just kind of moving through from the northeast to the southeast here, all the way down to the Gulf, giving some thunderstorms around the Gulf here. And I believe that that is actually tied into this system around Texas that I will talk about in a little bit. But this front here just moving through. The 850s, I believe, are just about east of Philadelphia, almost off the coast of the eastern United States here. And behind, you do have some snow and some mix in some spots. There was some hesitation to whether it would mix. It will, and based on radar, it pretty much has some hidden seen that it is mixing a little bit in and out, but because the surface temps are still pretty warm, it's just going to be falling, but rather not sticking. You do have a very strong flow in these two spots right here once this front moves really off the coast, and you're gonna have some great lake effect snows kind of pushing in from upstate New York and Lake Erie by later tonight. So that's going to affect some snow across PA and upstate New York later this evening as the front moves off. So be hesitant to that. And really, like I said, this front moving off, some rain and some snow mixed in the back edge of that. The 500s, the 850s seem very cold enough to support snow, but it's still that surface to 950 millibar, which is that very, very surface and lowest layer of the atmosphere, and that still is on the edges of being warm, so you can't get those flakes to fly. So it's unfortunate, but some areas in the higher elevations, you're seeing some flakes, but like I said, surface temps are a little too warm for that, or at least sticking, should I say. Elsewhere, you have a storm that's going to be forming down here, and what that's going to do is really take part, because you're going to have a trough come down like this, and what this storm is going to do is it's going to take part. It's going to bring everything together, this colder side in here and this warmer side in here, and it's really going to explode itself up to this path here. It's going to be giving a heck of a lot of warm weather and thunderstorms and rain for this area up here into probably your midweek into late week, and this is probably where the thunderstorms are going to be. As you head further up to the northeast, it's probably where it just kind of dwindles into rain. And then as we go into the blue here, we're going to probably be talking about possibilities of some snow around here, just some snow where the head pocket is of the low is where you'll be seeing some of that snow be able to develop, but there will be a good amount of snow out of this storm as well, equal amount to the thunderstorms that will be occurring, like I said. So now, putting what's going to be happening aside right now, let's go and look at the models and kind of see if we could look at anything or kind of find out anything that might be a little more intriguing. And here right now is your current, and we have some negative tilt over here around the east. It's very, very solemn. You have a very light block up here, so trough's really not too energized, and it's going to kick off because you have a warmer edge come down here, or more of a block. It's more of a colder edge here, but it's going to move down into the Midwest here, and that's where a storm is going to form, and it's going to move up, and I'll show you that on the next imagery here. So this is when now that block now turns into more negative energy and a straight up down trough, and you're going to have a storm form right in here, and it's going to move right up through the Great Lakes. And on the eastern side, you could see here very brighter colors, and that's indicating warmer weather. And back here in the blue, it's going to be colder and snowier. So that's going to be really the highlight of this week, is going to be that storm, because it's going to be something that's going to have a lot of energy with it. A lot of rain to the east, a lot of thunderstorms to the east, and some snow to the west. So it's going to be a very, very interesting storm come this weekend, one that AnalysisWX.com is going to have a lot of coverage on. And then as we move and push away this storm, you can see how it really starts to magnify in itself up here once it gets off the northeast past Nova Scotia. Then what you have is this system that was originally affecting the Great Lakes is now going to turn into more of a block. And when you have that energy up there move its way up into this area here, and it has the blocking energy like it does currently, you're going to get a block and a negative NAO, and that's going to create a very, very negative pattern across the, I should say most of the United States, if not all of the United States. And when I talk about negative, we've talked about them in October, we've talked about them early November, but this is going to be one that you're going to feel like you're in January or February from earlier this year. This is going to be a cold wave that comes down hitting your late week into your late weekend coming up this week as that storm moves in. I always say that when a storm comes in, if it's a powerful one, it's going to bring a powerful air mass. And what is it going to bring? It's bringing a very powerful cold air mass. Now, to bring a lot of storms with it, there's a possibility, but that's one thing that I would be hinting down here to be watching for any storm activity when this thing goes negative. Not only is it going to be very cold, but there could be some storms that form in the outer layer of that jet, so I would be really on my toes to watching that through your weekend into next week. And then as we move more into the longer range here, I just wanted to just give one shout out here. You have kind of almost looks like a positive and very, very positive built up here across the Pacific into the west, and that indicates a very, very negative tilted trough across the central to eastern United States. And with you pretty much having this setup, you're going to have a deeper trough coming in, so sharper temps could be coming in for next week as well. So a lot of folks are saying, well, this storm's going to come in, it's going to be really warm across the east, very cold, or the same across the west with some snow, rain on the east. What's going to happen? Well, I showed you by late this week it's going to start getting even more cold. I'm talking about the cold air mass of January and February. And then next week, it almost looks like an even more powerful ridge forms across the west, and you get some more deep and colder weather digging across the central to eastern United States. So a lot of people are on their toes across the east. They really want some snow. It's coming, folks. You just got to give it some time. I like where this pattern is a lot, and I like it a lot. So we're going to hang it up there, and we'll talk to you about tomorrow. So have a good Monday, and like I said, guys, we'll talk to you tomorrow.